Hi, guys, and I want to share this inspiration I have this morning around being a trailblazer, around creating evidence for yourself and others when you make a decision that something in your life wants to change and that you decide that you want something different for yourself. You want something different for your family. You want something different for your community. And that desire, it doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from the soul. So let me tell you a story about my mum, who is a 5-1 projector. My mum grew up in a family who were living in abject poverty in Notting Hill back in the day. And in her family, she was very academic. She was the most academic. She's a 5-1 projector. And yet no one in the family was academic. No one in the family had gone to university. My mum, in those days, they had a system where at 11 years old, you did the 11 plus, and she was like genius level. But because she was surrounded by ghetto, basically, people that weren't into education, education wasn't supported. Her mum never went to parents' evening to see her, to talk to her teachers about her academic brilliance. She decided that she wanted to go to the local comprehensive rather than go to the grammar school. And that decision led her, it was a choice point, and it gave her a lifestyle that led her down a very different path in comparison to if she had followed her academic prowess. The opportunities that would have been available to her through education being an empowering force were now closed off for a long time. So she ended up with living a life where she wasn't fulfilling her potential in any way, shape, or form. Lots of not lots, two part. My brother's dad and my father, nice men, but whatever. And she didn't go to fulfill that innate knowing within her until she was much older. So when I was about 14, maybe 1999, I think that's when she went to do a GCSE in English, and she went to do A levels, and then she went to university, and then she got a job. And all the way through, her self-esteem was still really, really low. She didn't see her own value. She didn't have the belief in herself that there could be something different in life. And then she got a calling, and people kept in the outer world kept saying to her, you should be a priest. If you were a priest, I'd come to your church. And she'd always had a connection with what she conceived to be as God. And again, that was something different from her whole family. Like, no one in the family had any religious affiliation at all, no connection. But she had a very strong faith that came again out of where? Out of nowhere. And she ended up going to Oxford University, which is one of the most prestigious universities in England, to do theology. When I don't know how old, 45 or so, and actually became a priest. And she's done that for the last 10 years of her life. Prior to that, nothing. No career, no pathway, raising kids, staying at home, whatever. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because I want you to understand that when you make a decision to do something different and believe something is possible and think differently for yourself, you start to pave the way for other people. Because she was the first person in our family to go to university, it opened the door for my brother and myself to go to university. And I went back when I was 26. So I'd left home at 17, living in homeless hostels, blah, blah, blah. And again, it came down to, what do I really believe is possible for myself? So when we are thinking to ourselves, I don't want to work 9 to 5 anymore. I no longer want to be stuck in a life situation that isn't serving me in any way, it's draining me. I no longer want to work with a certain segment of client. All it takes is for you to act on that decision and change your mind. Make a different choice.